Good morning. Good morning. It's 12:47 a.m. I am on my way to the gym right now to get my first part of my morning up and going. Nothing necessarily stood out to me today. And I think that when we graduate to new levels in life, we go from dating someone to married to someone. We graduate, we go from uh, working at a company to having a higher position in the company. We go from different pay scales. We go from different ways of thinking and believing. We always go through some other type of metamorphosis. Even as a child, you go from eating liquid foods to moving into solid foods. You go through it, except at that age, nobody can understand you, so your communication is very limited, even to what you need or what you want or how you're feeling. But as you get older, these things start evolving. Your change allows you to yell out. It allows you to yell out that it's uncomfortable. It allows you to yell out it's not fair. It allows you to yell out that it's hard. And for me, it's easy to sit back and say, things should be this way, and this way. And then you actually get thrown into the pit yourself and you start feeling what the other people were feeling that you really did not have any empathy for. And that's me. Now, don't get me wrong. It wasn't that I didn't have empathy for how they felt. I didn't have empathy for the lack of action that they took inside of that feeling. Feelings are going to do a lot of things. Feelings are a lot like a hurricane or a tornado. They'll knock 20 houses over and then miss one. There's no rhyme or reason or no logic. But yet the action that you take behind it shows a lot. So it's not empathy. It's not a lack of empathy for the situation. It's a lack of empathy for the action or the lack of action that a person takes. But yet you always find yourself back in that position where you get to feel what they feel. I always thought the most interesting story and theory about why God sent Jesus back, or why God sent Jesus here, and why he had to die on the cross. And it was the fact that God had never felt what we had felt. God had always been sitting on the throne up in heaven, and he never felt the pain that we feel. He never felt the cancer. He never felt the feeling to lust. He never felt the cold. He never felt sick. He never felt the pain of death. He never felt the pain of rejoicing. So God sent an intercessor in a human form so that this individual could come down, feel what we feel, know what we know, act as we act, die as we die, and God would have somebody to sit at his right hand and say, this is what your people are going through. This is what they're feeling. Have mercy on them. Because it's not easy. But you got to remember something. Just as much as you go through a time in your life when things are not ticking the way that you need them to tick along, Sunshine always comes in the morning, and a new opportunity always arises its head. The problem is most cannot slow down their fear or slow down their emotions long enough to gain a real understanding about what's going on, why is it happening. And what's the solution? Versus we get caught up in the emotion of things and we stay inside of the emotion of things. And we let that be what guides our every movement. You can always think back to, have you been in this situation before? And if you think long and hard, you'll find that you have. And then if you think back, did I smile again? You'll always think back, yes, I started smiling again. So all that's left now is to let the situation that puts you in that feeling resolve or dissolve, however you feel like you want to manage it and deal with it and resolve it. Because too often it's easy to stay stuck inside of a situation that you don't need to. If you spend over half your life doing things that you don't like, if you spend over half your life with your emotions dictating you, if you spend half your life in situations that you're not all the way committed to, it's real hard to get the second half of your life in order. Put it like this: if for every pound of fat you put on, it takes you double that in time to remove it, well, similar to when you live your life a certain way that's, probably wasn't the best or you didn't agree with the most, how much time do you have to undo those ways? I know what you're probably thinking. Well, I'm 40 years old now and I've pretty much been acting like this my whole life, so I would need to be 120 by the time I made a real change. God works miracles, but there's no better time to make a change than right now, if it's going to be for the better. If it's going to be for the better. Because one day working towards change is better than no days working towards change. So even though it might take you to 120, at least the quality of your life can start becoming something manageable right now. But you have to want that. And you have to understand that those emotions are unpredictable and that you've been in this situation before. And that is the only thing that will make a change in your life. Realization.